5. Weston McKennie, Robin Koch and Adam Forshaw in midfield. Jack Harrison supporting Rodrigo, Leeds top scorer, who scored twice at Spurs in a 4-3 defeat earlier this season. He's the man up front. As for Spurs, they make one change. It's Pedro Porro in for Arnaud Danjuma on the right-hand side of midfield. So Fraser Forster in goal. Back four of Emerson Royal, Davison Sanchez, Clement Longley and Ben Davis. It's Pedro Porro, Yves Bissouma, Oliver Skipp and Heung-min Son in midfield. Dejan Kulusevski and Harry Kane up front for Tottenham.
Listen to that roar from the home fans. Sam Allardyce in his programme notes today said that he needed them on side, just like they were against Newcastle. And whilst the sun has come out in the last 20 minutes or so, I couldn't help but notice an ominous dark cloud rolling over Ellen Road when we arrived early this afternoon. Neither sets of fans, Leeds or Spurs, in particularly fine fettle on my travels up north today. And well, with the players out on the pitch, I'm going to hand it over to your matchday team. The two-time Arsenal winner, Arsenal title winner Perry Groves is alongside Ian Danton.
Thank you, Will, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're listening to TalkSport 2 on final day. There are legends in West Yorkshire that loom over you from the stands whenever you step on the Ellen Road pitch in front of us. John Charles, Jack Charlton, Norman Hunter and Don Revie all have stands named after them here. And those four gentlemen never gave up without a fight in their days with Leeds United. And Sam Allardyce has brought more legends in this week to address his squad, looking for the marginal gains that might just keep his side up today. Gary McAllister and Gordon Strachan have spoken to the squad in the run-up to this pivotal afternoon, and today I can tell you the press area full, chock full of more ex-players and managers. Paul Reaney, Noel Whelan, Jermaine Beckford and our own TalkSport 2 colleague Neil Redford. Can they and the Leeds crowd inspire the team to at least win here and then see what happens elsewhere with regard to Everton and Leicester? Spurs are in town as their opponents with something to play for themselves, but it won't be a Champions League place next season. That was where they were when Antonio Conte departed in March. It can well be the first season without European football for Tottenham since the 2009-10 season. And then there's the Harry Kane factor. What happens next with the England captain and record goal scorer? Anthony Taylor is our referee. Leeds players in a huddle. The mascots are just leaving the field, including one very young little boy, can't be any older than 3 or 4, just trotting off the pitch, marginally taller than Perry Groves. How are you, mate?
I'm good, actually. It was a nice little run from the wee man there, wasn't it? He just bent his run, didn't he, from inside to out. No one picked him up, he was totally free, and no one gave him the ball.
So both sets of players go into a huddle. Spurs in their wild assortment of colours for their away strip today. Sort of blue shirts with black sleeves and yellow trim, black shorts and lime yellow fluorescent socks. Leeds in all white. And players will take the knee as the initiative to make sure that racial and social injustice is not forgotten. It's a message that's being reinforced on this final Premier League weekend of the season to make sure that all those know within the game that there is absolutely no room for racism in football. And also names up on the Jumbotron screen to our right of Leeds fans who sadly left us in the last 12 months, remembered by all around this wonderful old stadium of Ellen Road. I say old, elements of it still are, including the John Charles stamp that me and Perry and Will and our producer Salah sat in. Opposite us, the Jack Charlton stand is slightly more modern. The modern Leeds United need to evoke the spirit of the classic Leeds United if anything is to go their way this afternoon. A reminder that I'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening with Everton's home game against Bournemouth and the Leicester game at home to West Ham, although commentary of that is on TalkSport. They're already underway at the King Power. Sam Matterfacial commentator there. But we're ready for the off here at Ellen Road. Leeds must win and hope that Everton lose and that Leicester City fail to win. There is your basic setup. It'll get more complicated as the afternoon goes on. Off and running Leeds, attacking the Norman Hunter stand to our right. We're sat about 30 rows back in the John Charles main stand. Most of the pitch bathed in glorious sunshine, just the near side to us in a bit of shade in front of that John Charles stand. And here's Rodrigo getting an early touch, but it's won back by Son Heung-min, darting down the left-hand side for Tottenham towards the Revie end that they're attacking. Just holds his run for a moment and guides it back to Yves Bissouma. Son will have it again, just below our commentary position. Bissouma goes infield to Oliver Skipp, and then Spurs send it back to the halfway line. 0-0, Sanchez in possession. Emerson Royal rolls his foot on the ball. Leeds have got everybody behind the ball. Bissouma, who's had a difficult first season, I think it's fair to say, since his big money move from Brighton and Hove Albion. He must have been casting envious glances at what his former teammates have done whilst he's been away. Sanchez out to Porro, and Royal on the right hand side, and back it goes to Longley. What about Tottenham's role in all of this afternoon, Perry Groves?
Well, they just got to make sure that they keep everything honest, which they will do. You say they've got a chance of getting themselves into Europa Conference League. I said before, Dance, if you was a new manager.
As the ball's played forward to the right corner of the box, Porro sets up Son, and Kane puts Spurs ahead. Harry Kane, on what could be his final appearance in a Tottenham shirt, just destroys the atmosphere in Ellen Road at a stroke. But for the Tottenham fans, saluting their hero, maybe for the last time. 10 goals Harry Kane has scored on the final day of Premier League seasons. This one could condemn Leeds to the drop. It is Leeds United 0, Tottenham 1, Harry Kane.
Dance, that's exactly the start that Leeds United didn't want. You said about Harry Kane's, how fantastic it is in the last game of the season. Just a little check, I think there will be with VAR, but offside from Kulusevski. Pedro Porro coming from that right hand side. He might have gone a little bit early, Dance. There's definitely going to be a check, but Pedro Porro gets himself inside stroke, comes to Heung-min Son. He gets the ball out of his feet and he rolls it across to Harry Kane. Fantastic finish from Harry Kane into the top right hand corner. We think he's put Spurs 1-0 up, but there's a VAR check as we speak.
Yeah, they're just drawing the lines where Porro was just on the shoulder of Pascal Struijk and got in behind him down that right hand side. Looking at the still picture I have in front of me on our monitors, he looks onside, and indeed he is. Onside is the call, the goal stands, and so Harry Kane has scored in 26 games this season for Tottenham Hotspur, equalling the record that Andrew Cole set for Manchester United early in the Premier League era, 93-94, when he also scored in 26 different Premier League games across the season. A quite astounding record, but it has just made Leeds United's task that much tougher on TalkSport 2. 1-0 to Spurs.
I think they're defending there, just some Leeds season up. They're all looking at each other, pointing fingers. Pascal Struijk's got to do a lot better. He can't let Pedro Porro get in behind him. Then the Leeds three centre-halves were completely all over the place. Heung-min Son did brilliantly, Dance, as he got the ball at his feet in the centre of the 18-yard box and just rolled it nicely. The pace was perfect for Harry Kane to hit it first time to give Robles absolutely no chance in the Leeds goal in the top right-hand corner. As you said, Dance, this is exactly the start that Leeds United didn't want.
Goal kick to Tottenham. Fraser forced to place it short to Longley inside his own penalty area. Kane just sees Cooper step in front of him and win the ball back, and it's played out to the Leeds right hand side and Luke Ayling. Early ball in field, volleyed away by Skipp and out of play for a throw. So plenty of food for thought for Sam Allardyce and Carl Robinson. And Harry Kane's actually gone down holding his groin on the halfway line because he was caught by Liam Cooper in possession as he tried to win that ball midway point of his own half, and he's just getting some treatment on the halfway line from the Spurs physio. We played 4.5 minutes on TalkSport 2. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1.
Yeah, I think Harry Kane's just being precautionary. Dance, I don't think it's anything particularly drastic. And also what it does, he might be being very clever as well, just to take the sting out of the game completely. Obviously, because Leeds be looking to build up some momentum, see if they get a reaction from going 1-0 down so early.
Well, I'm sure that goal has gone down very well on Merseyside. Everton playing Bournemouth, that's 0-0. So too Leicester, West Ham. Remember, Leicester, they are also relegated as things stand, along with Leeds and Southampton. Throw in for Leeds, flicked on inside the area by Robin Koch. It's volleyed away by Ibasuma, but it actually goes out of play for a corner kick to Leeds at the Norman Hunter end. 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur.
And Jack Harrison will come across Leeds' right-hand side, looking to in-swing it with pace with his left foot. Spurs going marking along the 6-yard box.
Harrison's corner into the near post. Kane, who's back on the field, heads it away at the near post at the corner of the 6-yard box. Leeds try to retain possession, and Harrison's done well to work it back to Rasmus Christensen on halfway line for Leeds United. Diagonal ball out to the left-hand side. Chance to get away, chance to put a ball into the box. It breaks just away from the charging Rodrigo, and anywhere would do for Davinson Sanchez. The ball's lobbed back to the edge of the Spurs box. Sanchez heads clear, but it drops on the head of Max Verber, and then in comes Pedro Porro, who's playing on the left-hand side for the moment. Rodrigo takes over for Leeds United. Gets the ball back from Christensen. He's 30 yards out. Swings a lovely diagonal, and it's headed wide. Robin Koch was the furthest player forward onto the 6-yard line and planted a stooping header wide when he had nobody around him. Goal kick Spurs, and Spurs lead 1-0.
Dance. Robin Koch's got to hit the target there. It's a brilliant ball in from Rodrigo from this right-hand side, in swinging with his left foot over the top of Davinson Sanchez, who doesn't know where Robin Koch is. A diving header from Robin Koch, and he actually made that look more difficult. That's what it really was. He's got to worst ways out, make Fraser Forster make a save.
Koch, who's playing more as a midfield player, and Sam Allardyce sitting a lot as a centre half for Leeds this season. 1-0 Tottenham. TalkSport 2, 7 minutes gone. Leeds relegated as things stand. Remember, they have to win and then see what happens elsewhere. No goals at Everton, no goals at Leicester in the TalkSport commentary between Leicester and West Ham. Get the TalkSport app downloaded and you can swipe between the two commentaries as things develop. Villa have just taken the lead against Brighton in the Premier League. Douglas Luiz with the goal, and that's going to be Villa under Unai Emery, the serial Europa League winner, getting into that competition next season. Throw into Leeds United here, down the left-hand side. A chance for Weston McKennie to launch the ball into the Tottenham area. Flicked on, might break for Rodrigo, and driven over the bar by Pascal Strike, who was well placed, but it took a deflection. It's a Leeds corner. 1-0 Tottenham.
Excellent throw, McKennie. Long throw, just launching it into Spurs' 18-yard box. Leeds make sure they win the knockdown. We said there, Pascal Strike looked like he at least should have hit the target. Got a slight deflection. Corner for Leeds over on their left-hand side.
Swung in to the near post. Up go the heads. It came off the back of Rodrigo. Headed out to the edge of the area. Harrison goes in trying to get a touch, but Spurs will try and launch a counter-attack. Longley was hauled down by Pascal Strike, who gets a yellow card for a professional foul as he tried to prevent the Spurs counter. 8.5 gone. Tottenham 1-0 up, and Strike is booked.
Yeah, and Strike's put himself under pressure now. Dance getting booked so early. They said Longley looked like he was going to launch a counter-attack for Spurs. It was a 3v3 situation. So Pascal Strike decided that he'd take the action that could just quell the game, stop Spurs on their counter-attack. But it's been a good reaction from Leeds since going 1-0 down. Managed to put on a bit of pressure. McKennie just hauling a few long throw-ins in, a couple of corners as well. Created a couple of chances.
Newcastle United 1-0 up at Chelsea. Anthony Gordon puts the Magpies ahead. What a season they have had. Champions League certainties now. Eddie Howe and his team. Champions League was where Spurs were, but Antonio Conte departed the scene. They start the day in 8. Sam Allardyce just telling his players to calm down as Robin Koch, the latest, to hurry a clearance that just shanked out a play to this near side for a Spurs throw right on the halfway line in front of our commentary position in the main stand. Spurs attacking the Revy end. 1-0 Tottenham. Davis to hurl it down this near side. Christensen steps in front of Kane and heads the ball clear for Leeds. Basuma keeping it in play tight to the touchline, and Davis does well to win a throw off Adam Forshaw. Spurs 1-0 up here.
You can hear the Leeds fans trying to rally their team, trying to get some intensity in their plays. Sam Allardyce and Carl Robinson, the Leeds coach, going the other way around, telling their players just to calm down a bit and start playing with their heads rather than their hearts.
That's the former Arsenal title winner Perry Groves that we've sent to cover Tottenham on the final day. No, it wasn't deliberate. It was not deliberate. Not quite, anyway.
Yourself and myself, Dan, we've been watching Spurs quite a lot this season, haven't we, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
We were at the reverse fixture, which was a brilliant game between these two that we brought you on TalkSport 2. It finished 4-3 to Spurs when they were 1-0, 2-1 and 3-2 down to Leeds United. Amazing game. Kind of summed up certainly Leeds United season, maybe not Tottenham's.
Well, after that game, Leeds didn't win for 9 games. They drew 4 and lost 5, and they actually played really well in that game. And I think it was Jesse Marsh trying to overthink things where they were 3-2 up, and he put Luke Ayling, didn't he? Went 5 at the back, and Bentancur scored 2 quick goals for Spurs.
TalkSport 2 on the final day of the Premier League. No goals at Everton, no goals at Leicester, but here at Ellen Road, crucially, Spurs are a goal up, but here come Leeds United down the left-hand side of the box. The ball's ricocheting around the area, and in the end, Sanchez, in trying to clear it, hits it against Basuma, and Leeds have a third corner of this opening 12 minutes at the Norman Hunter end. Spurs 1-0 up.
That was don't panic Captain Mannering, wasn't it, from Sanchez there? Just needs a cool head, just smash it against the backside of Yves Basuma. Goes out for a corner for Leeds on their left-hand side,
where it meets the Jack Charlton stand into the near post, but headed away by the first defender. And Christensen trying to float it out to the left-hand side. That's the chase back. Does really well to keep the ball away from Kulusevski. And the ball breaks out on the far side of the field, tucked in field for Max Wöber. A bit of space for Luke Ayling on this near inside right channel for Leeds United. Wöber looks again out on the left-hand side for Pascal Struijk, but he's overhit the pass, and it will be a Tottenham Hotspur throw. Of course, Robbie Keane, former Spurs player, part of the Sam Allardyce backroom staff here at Ellen Road.
Just looking at Leeds United, Dan, we wondered how they was going to set up, didn't we? They've gone with a flat back 4. They said they're with Robin Koch just in front of the back 4, just give himself a little bit of protection. At the moment, it's been Leeds who've been dominating possession.
But it is 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, and that's the crucial factor. But as I say, no goals in the Everton, Bournemouth and Leicester West Ham games. Liverpool lead at Southampton. Diogo Jota has put them ahead at already relegated Saints, and at the moment Leeds United are joining Southampton in the Championship next season. But of course, we are your home of the EFL here on TalkSport 2, and indeed the whole TalkSport network. So I dare say if Leeds United are indeed condemned to the drop, we'll still be seeing an awful lot and bringing an awful lot to you during the course of next season, as our exclusive Football League rights continue on national radio into next season for Championship, League 1 and League 2. And I dare say there'll be 1 or 2 League 2 fixtures that we'll cover. I think you might know why. Forshaw for Leeds United at 1-0 down. Loses out to Ben Davies, who strokes the ball into Kulusevski, who's clipped by Max Wöber, and another cheap yellow card surrendered by Leeds United. Max Wöber, lovely spin by Dejan Kulusevski, and he was clipped by Wöber, yellow card.
Yeah, it's just Max Wöber there, just rushing in. He just needs to go and close Kulusevski down. He's dived in. Kulusevski can feel his breath on the back of his neck down, so he's only just flicked it past him with his outside of his left foot. Max Wöber just hacks him down. The referee, Anthony Taylor, no option but to dish a yellow card.
Don't forget, tomorrow on TalkSport 2 we bring you the League 1 final at 3 o'clock. Barnsley against Sheffield Wednesday, a South Yorkshire derby. Brilliant game in prospect between those two. It was a thriller when I saw that at Oakwell just a month or so ago, and it finished 4-2 to the Tykes. It's 1-0 to Tottenham here on TalkSport 2. Firmino has just put Liverpool 2-0 up on his final appearance for the Red Men. at St Mary's. 1-0 here to Tottenham Hotspur, courtesy of Harry Kane's goal in the 2nd minute of the match. After all that build-up, after all the atmosphere, Kane popped the balloon good and proper.
Yeah, just looking at Leeds' formation, it's quite fluid, Dan, because Pascal Stroke is playing quite an advanced position on that left-hand side. That means that Verbal will go out into sort of the left-back position when Leeds are in possession, when they're out of possession, then they go back to a flat-back 5.
Arsenal have scored 2 quick goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers, both of them from Granit Xhaka. Arsenal 2, Wolves 0 on TalkSport 2. 1-0 here to the other half of North London.
Could be in for a little hat-trick war on his farewell final game at the Emirates, Granit Xhaka, if reports are to be believed.
And we'll see whether the Swiss is indeed still there come the start of next season. Right, that's a TalkSport exclusive. Remember the League One playoff final. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, Quessa Wellamo and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk will be your team at Wembley tomorrow. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. And there's more PGA Tour golf coverage of the Memorial Tournament. Starts on Thursday evening on TalkSport 2. 4 evenings of live golf on the network and the PGA Tour. And we've got racing from Epsom. The Derby Festival, of course, comes up across the weekend. Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly there for TalkSport. Leeds coming forward, a goal down. McKennie trying to win the ball of Longley, who steps out of defence, and the ball's sped out towards Son Heung-min. Christensen won it back. Ayling is clattered into by Kane, and that's a free kick, says referee Anthony Taylor. And the Leeds fans said, what about a yellow card for Harry Kane then?
No.
Put Berber and strike, what about that challenge, they say?
No, he's the England captain. Harry Kane doesn't make those sort of challenges, dance. How dare you?
You can read into that what you will from Perry Groves, my esteemed colleague and former Arsenal title winner alongside me.
Anybody else on the pitch, trust me, dance, would have been booked. But Anthony Taylor's like, Harry, can you just calm yourselves down a little bit, mate? I'm watching you, you've got one more.
Free kick to Leeds United. They need a goal from somewhere just to give their fans something to cling on to. Adam Forshaw standing over the free kick. Midway point, the half out to the right-hand side. Good delivery, headed away from Bissouma. Pedro Porro burst onto the scene. Strike had to be careful not to bring him down as he worked the ball clear. Harrison gets it back for Leeds. Starts down the left-hand side. Early ball into the box, looking for Rodrigo. Cleared away by Longley. Helped out by Sanchez, but he passed it straight out of play. Leeds throw. Saints get a goal back at Liverpool, against Liverpool rather. James Ward-Prowse, Southampton 1, Liverpool 2. Perhaps his last appearance as well in that game for his side in terms of James Ward-Prowse. Long throw coming in for Leeds United, level with the edge of the Spurs box. Weston McKennie sends it into the near post. Strike heads it up in the air, doesn't know where it's dropped. Won't drop for him when he finally spots it. And again a hurried clearance from Tottenham. And Leeds territorially are hemming Tottenham in here, Perry Groves.
Yeah, they're faster to the ball. Their passing's been very good. So their main weapon in this first 15 minutes has been McKennie's long throws, but I think he needs just to vary it a little bit, Dance, because all he's doing, it's like a Hail Mary, isn't it? He's just sort of lobbing it into the 18-yard box, making it like a fight ball, where I think he could vary it, where he could go more of an angle to the byline, he could come to the edge of the 18-yard box, because it's just a little bit easy at the moment for Spurs to defend it.
You're listening to Leeds 0, Tottenham 1 on TalkSport 2 with Car Finance 24/7. Say hello to hassle-free car finance and search Car Finance 24/7 today. Long ball downfield seeking out Son Heung-min is comfortably dealt with by Rasmus Christensen. And the ball's gone out for a throw right in front of Sam Allardyce. He actually stood his ground really well, Big Sam, because he had Ben Davies and Bissouma around him. But he managed to stand his ground, and the ball actually, and the two men, both somehow evaded him. Kenny Tete is giving Fulham the lead at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Fulham 1, but Manchester United are already assured of a Champions League berth. Another long throw to come from Weston McKennie here. And a little round of applause for Jack Gilvery, a young Leeds fan who passed away earlier this month. Marching on together with the Angels, says the little legend on the Jumbotron screen for the young man who passed away this month. Now here comes Spurs on the counter-attack, looking for a second. Son Heung-min can't get past Christensen. He was actually sold a little bit short by the pass from Kulusevski, and then Porro almost got in after Strike made an absolute Horlicks of the clearance, but Leeds United don't suffer any further damage, and it stays 1-0 to Tottenham with 20 minutes gone on TalkSport 2.
And Christensen did brilliantly there, because Kulusevski was breaking Son on his left hand side. Christian made sure he didn't sell himself. It was a really bad ball from Kulusevski. Should be putting it into Son's path. It enabled Christian to cut it out and just negate the danger.
Here's Adam Forshaw, another player who's had enormous injury problems. Finds Verba in a bit of space, clips it into the area looking for McKennie, headed out to Forshaw, drives it goal, that was on its way in before Davinson Sanchez stuck out a left boot and diverted it over the crossbar for Leeds' fourth corner of the half. Tottenham 1-0 up, but Leeds still pressing here.
That was a fantastic strike on the half volley from Adam Forshaw. Said it looked like it had Fraser Force to beat until Davinson Sanchez just stuck out his left knee, deflected it for a corner for Leeds again on their right hand side.
Where the Norman Hunter meets the main stand. Harrison goes to the far post, two players there, one of them Verba has to drift outside of the box to retrieve possession for Leeds United. Forshaw plays the ball to Christensen, stood just in front of the centre circle. Harrison wants it right, he's directed to go right, but instead he goes left, and Verba can't nutmeg Oliver Skipp, but Skipp's ball downfield won't find anybody in the Tottenham shirt. Leeds have it back. Diagonal ball is overhit, and Ben Davison just watched that go behind for a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1. Here's Perry Groves on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, just come up to 22 minutes played, so it's been all Leeds for the last 10 minutes. Their passing has been decent in the middle third. Just when they get to the final third, sometimes their quality lets them down, but I think McKennie's got to have probably an ice bath at half-time. He put both his biceps in it, the amount of throw-ins that he's taking. And I think they could work the throw-ins a little bit better. It's unusual. You'd have thought that Sam Allardyce, obviously, he plays great attention dancing into his set pieces. But at the moment, it's just McKennie just lobbing it into the box and making it a fight ball. I think they can be a little bit more cuter with it.
No goals at Everton versus Bournemouth. No goals in the TalkSport commentary between Leicester and West Ham. The one goal involving those at the bottom has come here, and it's not gone the way of Leeds United. Harry Kane with his 29th goal of the season has Spurs 1-0 up as we approach the midway point of this first half. Spurs in their blue and black and lime green away strip. Give the ball away, actually. Kane loses out to Christensen, and Luke Ayling takes over, tucks the ball in field to Klopp. Klopp tries to let the ball run across his body, got his feet in a terrible mess, and Spurs won it back.
It was actually tackled by Adam Forshaw. Adam Forshaw thought the ball was rolled into him, so Klopp went for it, they tackled each other, giving the ball away to Spurs for possession on their left hand side.
Now Son Heung-min plays the ball back into his own half for Bissouma, just tells his players to calm as he gets on the ball, because Spurs have rarely had the ball in the half to our left looking towards the Revie end since they took the lead through Harry Kane in the second minute. Ryan Mason stood at the edge of his technical area. What happens to him next? Anybody's guess. Is he in the frame for the job full time? You just don't know with Daniel Levy.
Well, he had an article in the paper this morning saying don't blame Daniel Levy. He's done everything he possibly can, giving Spurs managers like Mourinho and Antonio Conte. I think that was more of, please give me the job.
Balls with Leeds United, and their keeper Joe Robles brought in by Sam Allardyce in place of Ilan Meslier, who is struggling a little bit for form in the Leeds goal. But Leeds haven't won, remember, since Big Sam came in. It's not necessarily Robles' fault, but they're still not keeping the clean sheets that they need, and they haven't kept a clean sheet today. Tottenham are 1-up, and we've played 24 and a half minutes on TalkSport 2. Kane in possession on the halfway line, drives the ball to the right looking for Porro, but Strike cuts off the ball out to Porro and guides the ball back to his goalkeeper Robles. Strike again, trying to drill it down the left hand side, but only found down the right hand side Emerson Royale. Leeds clear again, but Sanchez heads it back into the Leeds half this time.
Rodrigo just dumbing himself there, Dance, because as the ball come into him, all he's got to do is chest it and take it under control. He let it run because he thought Sanchez was up his backside, and Sanchez was about 5 yards away from him.
Bissouma finds Son Heung-min, just cutting in field from the left-hand side. Now it's a chance for Kulusevski at the edge of the D. Tees up Harry Kane. Slight deflection on the shot. Made it easier for Robles to save. 1-0 Spurs.
It was a great little reverse pass from Kulusevski. Just outside the 18-yard box central. It comes to him and just gives Christensen the eyes and just plays it into Harry Kane. Harry Kane trying to get his left foot shot away, and to be fair to Verber, he came in, got the block, and just looped up into Robles' hands.
You're listening to Leeds 0, Tottenham 1 on TalkSport 2 with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Leicester v West Ham and Everton Bournemouth live right now for £11.99. No contract, search Now Sports. Ayling with a cross for Leeds. Well, it's actually headed up in the air inadvertently by Strike because Emerson Royale got caught underneath the cross. Strike thought he was going to win the header. Royale didn't, and it just bounced off Pascal Strike and out of play for a Spurs goal kick. 1-0 to Tottenham.
Yeah, it's been a feature of Leeds' play. Dan said about Pascal Strike on that left-hand side. When they're in possession, he makes basically he's a left wing back and he pushes right up, pushing himself onto Emerson Royale on that right. Great ball in from Luke Ayling. Pascal Strike couldn't quite get over top of Emerson Royale to get the header.
So Fraser Forster clears downfield. We'll still know Hugo Lloris. Question marks over what happens with him next season. Long ball downfield, looking to get Leeds to the edge of the area. It's half cleared by Davis, but Leeds have it back. Pascal Strike, 20 yards inside the Tottenham half of the field, out on the far touchline. Oh, and a poor touch allows Oliver Skipp to bring the ball away for Spurs. Kulusevski just tucks it back for Royale, and Spurs elect not to counter too quickly downfield. Just keep possession, and Longley strides very stridently towards halfway. Bissouma plays the ball across the centre circle to Oliver Skipp. Still no goals at Everton or at Leicester in the other games involving those trying to beat the drop, so that's working in Everton's favour at the moment. Leeds and Leicester would go down today along with Southampton. Mitrovic has had a penalty saved by David De Gea, so Fulham are still 1-0 up, and Ollie Watkins has doubled Aston Villa's lead at Villa Park against Brighton and Hove Albion. Final day of the Premier League season. This is where all the attention is, whether big Sam Allardyce can work the oracle. Leeds United 1-0 down, but in possession with McKennie. Tried to clip the ball in field looking for Harrison, but he only found Bissouma, and here come Tottenham on the counter-attack. Harry Kane, Son going on his outside on the left-hand side of the area, receives it now, tried to pull it back, and Christensen deflected it behind for what is Tottenham's first corner of the game after Leeds gave the ball up. 1-0 Tottenham.
Good defending from Christensen at his near post. Son just trying to pick out Harry Kane, but that sort of sums Leeds up, Dance, because they get themselves in excellent positions, in Spurs' final third, and it's just such a simple pass from McKennie that he gives away. It's a 10-yard pass into Koch, and he just gives it away completely. Within 3 seconds, Spurs are in Leeds' final third with Son on this left-hand side.
Southampton have drawn back to 2-2 against Liverpool, with Sulemana, and Trossard has assisted Saka to make Arsenal 3-0 up against Wolves. Corner to Tottenham Hotspur at the Revie end, where it meets the John Charles stand. Swinging at pace by Porro into the near post, headed out by Strike. Bissouma just heads the ball straight up in the air, didn't help himself. Harrison chasing after Skipp in the centre circle, who was the last man. He skies the ball in the air, and Leeds try and win the ball back, and they do. Forshaw is dispossessed in the end by Longley, and Son tucks it down this left-hand side for Porro. Neat turn by Longley, who's really getting forward as often as he likes from centre-half for Tottenham today, Perry Groves.
Perhaps Ryan Mason has designated Longley to be the John Stones, just getting himself into midfield, make that extra man. At the moment, we've got Son out on this left-hand side, Pedro Porro's gone central, Harry Kane out on the right-hand side.
One back by Liam Cooper, stepping out from defence, but in steps Emerson Royale, who was fouled in turn by Jack Harrison. It's a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur midway point of the Leeds half. Is that going to become a thing? Like we had the Makaleli role? Are we going to have the Stones role? Is that the next player who's going to have a position on the pitch named after him?
To be fair, if you're the centre-half who's been allowed to go in centre midfield, you put your hands up, wouldn't you? Because it absolves Sheffield's defence responsibilities.
Of course, the Groves role was taking about 15 players away from Michael Thomas so he could win the title for Arsenal.
Do you know what? I always thought that you'd done your coaching badges, Dan.
As well, it's just a natural.
You've got to be aficionado of football to realise that Liverpool knew where all the danger was.
Free kick to Tottenham. Midway point of the Leeds United half, to the right of centre. Porro and Son are standing over it. Leeds holding their line at the edge of the D. Son clips it into the area. Almost broke in front of goal for Yves Bissouma. He just couldn't bring it down. And away come Leeds United as they try and work the ball into the Tottenham half. Half an hour gone on TalkSport 2. It's 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. Leeds are getting relegated today as things stand. Harry Kane with a goal inside 2 minutes. Harrison trying to get away down the left-hand side. It's half cleared. Strike moving towards the edge of the area. Plays it backwards of square for Koch. Now out to the left-hand side and a chance for Harrison to cross. Along comes Emerson Royale and blocks the cross, but Harrison has it and he's on his feet once again. Tucks infield to Robin Koch at the centre of the Tottenham half. Cooper plays a square ball along the edge of the centre circle to Christensen to his right. Cooper again searching out Harrison with a crossfield pass, brings it down, drills it in left-footed, doesn't find strike. Spurs get it clear. Good control from Dejan Kulusevski, and the Swede lays it back very tidily to Ben Davies, and then Bissouma is striding forward, lays it off to Emerson Royale. 31 minutes gone. Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1 on TalkSport 2.
And just Tottenham trying to slow the game down with Longley, just to try and take the impetus out of Leeds' attacks. Just get themselves in possession. And Rodrigo just tracking back, just has an unnecessary foul on Emerson Royale. Spurs will be happy with that, and say, just to quell the atmosphere.
It's currently Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and for the latest odds head to 888 Sport, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Leeds to win 5-1, the draw 3-1, Tottenham to come back and to win it from here 4-7 on. That's all thanks to 888 Sport, made to challenge, made to debate, made to play. It's 18 plus, begambleaware.org. And Harvey Barnes has just given Leicester City the lead against West Ham United over on TalkSport. That's a massive goal for Leicester City as they take the lead, and they would move on to 34 points. Everton would stay on 34 points, but Leicester have a better goal difference than Everton. Suddenly there is a change. That's over on TalkSport right now. Harvey Barnes with a crucial goal. Wow.
Can you imagine the atmosphere at Goodison Park, Dance, when that news reverberates around the stadium? A little bit of anxiety, a little bit of tension.
You and me have been there when it's been tense and it's been toxic. And here's Harry Kane trying to increase the subdued atmosphere here at Ellen Road, but he can't find Oliver Skipp, who'd push forward. Leeds have it back, 12 to half time. These home fans desperately need some encouragement. Fraser Forster yet to be tested. Robin Cox had their best chance with a diving header on 6 yard that he planted wide of the post. So as it stands, Leicester are staying up, and it's Leeds and Everton that are going down. Out on the left-hand side, Jack Harrison looks to take on Pedro Porro. Porro sticks to his task really well, dispossesses Harrison, and the ball's lofted into the centre of the half. One back by Christensen. Sanchez, a strong header clear. Harry Kane looked instinctively for where Son wants, but it's one back by McKennie, who tries a snapshot from 25 yards, and it's a good 6 yards wide of Fraser Forster's right-hand post. We're just over 10 minutes to half-time on TalkSport 2. It's Leeds 0, Tottenham 1. Here's Perry Groves.
Yeah, every time Harry Kane drops deep, he goes into that false 9 position. Rasmus Christensen, he's the one who's been delegated to follow him in. Exactly what happened there. Ricocheted off of Christensen, went to McKennie. Didn't really have the courage of conviction stance. He didn't really look like he believed that he could score from there, and just snap-tucked it with his right foot and went about 10 yards wide.
So Leeds now need to get themselves in front and then hope that West Ham can do them a favour at the King Power, live on TalkSport right now. Everton are 0-0 with Bournemouth. Really, Leeds United have got to hope that they can get themselves in front and hope that Everton surrender a goal to Bournemouth and that Leicester get pegged back by the Hammers. Cross into the box from the left-hand side from Max Berber is easily cleared by Davinson Sanchez for Tottenham.
The Spurs have just retreated into their own half, 5-4-1, leaving Harry Kane in the centre circle on his own. And it's up to Leeds if they've got the guile or the imagination to break him down. We haven't seen that so far, and played 35 minutes.
Harrison level with the corner of the area, plays the ball into Berber. Can he keep it in play, or does he want a corner? What's the assistant say? Corner kick, fifth corner of the half for Leicester. Good industry down the left hand side of the box from Max Berber. Hit the ball against Bissouma, and it's been given as a corner.
Yeah, it's good play from Berber on the underlap down that left hand side, just played in by Jack Harrison. You hear the Leeds fans trying to get behind their team.
As Forshaw strikes the corner in, headed up in the air by Berber and tipped over the bar by Forster, backpedaling. It wasn't dropping with any great velocity, that ball, but he had to deal with it all the same. Another corner to Leeds United, but they trail by a goal to nil.
Yeah, routine save from Fraser Forster. He said Berber gets his head to the ball. It just looked like it might have dropped underneath the crossbar. Jack Harrison will take the corner on this right hand side.
Short corner, doesn't work, they've made a mess of it. And Spurs will try and counter with Son Heung-min. The ball just holds up on the turf that isn't really letting the ball run and travel that freely this afternoon. I don't know whether that's intentional from Sam Allardyce, has told his ground staff to make the ground a little bit sticky, but it's not really travelling that well, the ball on the pitch.
Yeah, they'll probably just let the grass go that little bit longer, dance and say there, just dry it up a little bit. But again, that's some...
Kane turns the ball round the corner for Kulusevski, gets down the right hand side of the area for Tottenham, looking to extend their lead. Royale and Porro in possession now, level with the edge of the area. Roll back for Oliver Skipp. Skipp finds Bissouma, centre of the Leeds half. Just drops his shoulder, gets past McKennie, drives into the area, almost broke for Kane, but his first touch let him down, and Ayling stepped in front, and it eventually was pounced upon by Robles. 1-0 Tottenham.
That was nearly a good bad one from Yves Bissouma, so he's trying to get his shot away, snap hooks it into Harry Kane. To be fair to Luke Ayling, he was alert to the danger, made sure he followed the run of Harry Kane, just took it off his toes. But that all started, Dan, Spurs attack there, from a Leeds corner, where Jack Harrison just tries to roll it 5 yards into Rodrigo and misses him.
Forshaw finds McKennie, now Ayling on the right hand side for Leeds, level with the Tottenham box as they're attacking the Norman Hunter stand to our right in this first half, as we sit in the John Charles main stand. Forshaw puts the left footed cross in, headed towards goal and just wide. It was Pascal Strike again who got forward, and it was a good yard wide, and Forster didn't look in any great panic that the ball might be dropping inside his far post, and he has a goal kick for Tottenham, and its score stays at 1-0 to the visitors.
Yeah, decent ball in from Forshaw from this right hand side, just whipping it in with his left foot. So their Strike trying to get his header to it, redirecting it. Fraser Forster had a little bit of a panic up initially, and then he just knew that he was going to drift past his left hand post.
The goal kick from Forster wasn't great, but Ayling couldn't trap it, just bounced over his foot. And now the ball's out with a bit of space for Emerson Royale to charge into the Leeds half of the field. Lovely ball out to the right wing, and Pedro Porro, three in the area waiting for a cross, but it's deflected out of play for a throw. Max Berber turns and gives his defenders a volley. A Spurs win a throw on the far side. 6 to go in this first half. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. Chelsea a level at Stamford Bridge through a Kieran Trippier own goal. And Pascal Strike volleys clear for Leeds United onto the chest of Rodrigo McKennie and it's brought clear by Forshaw. Brighton get a goal back at Villa, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Ball's now back with Liam Cooper. Hasn't played football for around about a month, picked up an injury in April. But it's up front where Leeds have got the problems, of course. Bamford out injured once more. It's been the problem keeping their number 9 fit for long enough to have an impact this season. Now a free kick for Leeds as Forshaw is clipped, and a chance for Leeds to get the ball into the box from the midway point of the half, out on the right hand side for Leeds United. 1-0 Tottenham lead.
That was like WWE for a minute there, Dan. So his bodies are going all over the place. First it was Longley going into Oliver Skipp. Then it was Bissouma getting himself involved with Robin Koch. They all fall to the floor in the end. Andy Taylor says, right, I'm going to do a free kick.
Jadon Sancho equalises for Manchester United. It's 1-1 against Fulham at Old Trafford here at Ellen Road. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1. 5 minutes to half time on TalkSport 2 on this final day of the Premier League season. Leeds, as it stands, are going back to the Championship after 3 seasons at this level, but they have a free kick which Harrison drills into the area, headed up and out by Ben Davies. Good defending from the Welshman. Ayling tries to get to the second ball for Tottenham. Kulusevski giving chase up to halfway, but he nudged Rasmus Christensen to win the ball. Free kick, and again the Leeds fans ask, well, where's the yellow card for Tottenham players when 2 of our players have been booked? Free kick to the home side.
Yeah, but from Kulusevski's point of view, what's the point of the foul there? Because Christensen's actually facing the touchline, he's running back toward his own goal. The thing that he wants you to do is put your hand in his back so Christensen can go to the floor, exactly what Kulusevski does.
Free kick nodded into the area, it might be hooked towards goal by Strike, just couldn't get the shot away. Rodrigo can't get the shot away either. Desperate defending from Tottenham, but they get it clear. Kane guides the ball back to Son Heung-min. Oh, he takes the ball round Adam Forshaw, like he's not there, travelling elegantly down the left hand side, but then Liam Cooper with a lovely challenge to win the ball back. Harrison looks to hit Rodrigo over the top down the right hand side. The ball holds up a bit on this sticky surface, and that allows Rodrigo to pick it up, put a left-footed cross in, looking for McKennie, it just goes over his head and bounces through to Forster. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, good play from Leeds down their right-hand side. Initially, it was Adam Forshaw who released Rodrigo with a raking pass from the centre of the pitch, and Forshaw cuts back onto his left side, gives it to Rodrigo. He tries to bend it in with his left foot into McKennie, just overhits it a little bit.
In the centre circle, Kulusevski rolls Verbert really nicely and darts away down the inside right channel for Tottenham. 3 to his left, one of them is Bissouma down the right hand side of the box, wanted to get a cross in. Verbert stepped in and put it behind at the Revy end for a Tottenham corner in the late stages of this first half. Tottenham are 1 up.
Kulusevski's been excellent in this first half. When he drops that little bit deeper, he's aware of what's going on around him and behind him. He just lets it roll across his body with his left foot, flicks it inside to Emerson Royale. I'm sure he tries to get his cross in, blocked at the near post, corner for Spurs over on their right hand side.
Yeah, over on the far side it will be Dejan Kulusevski who won that corner to deliver it where the Don Revy meets the Jack Charlton stamp. It's headed away at the near post, and Leeds will try and counter, but they've got nobody on the halfway line. They're just trying to get Jack Harrison away down the left hand side, but Pedro Porro was a good 2 yards ahead of him as the ball went up to halfway. And the ball's back with Oliver Skipp. So Arsenal 3 up, Villa 2-1 up, Brentford Man City goalless, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Forest lead at Crystal Palace, and Awoniyi with a goal for Forest. Crucially, Everton 0, Bournemouth 0, Leicester 1, West Ham 0, and Leeds losing here. That means, as it stands, it's Leicester out of these 3 teams that stays in the Premier League, condemning Leeds and for the first time in my lifetime, Everton to the drop. Out on the left hand side, Leeds coming forward with Pascal Strike, but poor ball down the left hand side. It was intended for Harrison, but easy pickings for Emerson Royale to clear it downfield.
That'd be Everton's first relegation, was it 1951?
And you'd be the last ever Premier League game at Goodison Park, because the move to Bramley Moor Dock is set for the end of next season. 2 minutes of added time are going to be put up in a moment here by the 4th official once we get to half time, but we're still in the last 30 seconds of normal time. Leeds fans trying to rally their troops. Ayling lays it off to Forshaw on this near side, the right. Tucked back to the halfway line for Liam Cooper, the captain. Plays a square ball to his right for Christensen. Christensen slides it into the feet of Forshaw on the right wing, almost level the edge of the area. Early cross, volley clear by Longley, and Forshaw will let it drift out of play for a throw. As we're about to head into that 2 minutes of added time. And up goes the board to indicate those 2 minutes, which we're into right now. Long throw coming up from Weston McKennie again into the Tottenham box. These have caused a few problems. Hurled in to the near post, flicked on by Ayling, headed wide. Oh, it's Rodrigo, about 10 yards out, didn't jump, just ran across the penalty area, got his head to it. But I think from Fraser Forster's attitude, he didn't think it was anywhere near goal, and it went well wide for a goal kick. Stoppage time, 1-0 Spurs.
It was well worked from the front this time from Leeds. So McKennie just launching it in to the near post, Luke Ayling getting his flick on, Rodrigo getting across his marker, but they said their dance, it went in the end from where we are, it looked like it went like agonisingly close, but it was about 5 yards wide.
Here's Rasmus Christensen in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ayling looks for Rodrigo again, clipping the ball into the box, and touched behind by Davison Sanchez. Well, the corner kick to Leeds, their 7th of the half, but they're still 1-0 down.
Well, this will be their last chance to get this equaliser in this first half. Corner on this right hand side, Jack Harrison take it in swinging with his left foot. Spurs go zonal across the 6-yard box. Jack Harrison's got to make sure that he misses the first man, Emerson Royale, at the near post.
In it comes from Harrison, into the near post, breaks to the far, and Rasmus Christensen hooks it over the crossbar, couldn't keep it down. It was an awkward half volley. Well, it wasn't really a half volley by the time he put his foot round the ball. It had bounced a good foot or so off the ground. He just couldn't keep it down, and that's a goal kick to Tottenham at the end of this first half, 1-0.
It's a great delivery from Jack Harrison, just looking at his strike and cock, and then I think it was Cooper was going for the ball at the near post. All of them missed it, Dance. One of them's got to get their head on it because they get a free header on goal.
Anthony Taylor blows his whistle, and there are a smattering of boos in amongst applause at Ellen Road as the Leeds players go off at half-time. They needed to ask the questions of those around them in the relegation dogfight, but Harry Kane had the answers inside 2 minutes to put Tottenham Hotspur in front with his 10th goal on the final day of Premier League matches. Whether that's his final goal in a Tottenham shirt, only time will tell. But events elsewhere mean that there's very little Leeds can do at this point other than try and win the game from behind and then see what happens. But as it stands, Leeds are condemned back to life in the Championship, barring a sensational second half turnaround both here and elsewhere in the Premier League. At the break, Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Thank you very much, Dance. As Dance mentioned there, Leicester City still 1-0 up at home to West Ham. Half-time has gone there, and as it stands, Everton 0, Bournemouth 0. So as we look at the table right now, Everton and Leeds are going down. Perry Groves, this isn't a team who have struggled to score goals. As much as this is now going to be their 14th straight without a clean sheet, they have scored in their last 12 games, and yet despite the corners, despite the set pieces, just haven't seen where that goal's coming from. Yeah, just a little lack of creativity, lack of quality. We're all around the sort of the final third 18-yard box. There's no lack of endeavour, there's no lack of effort. Even going down 1-0 after 2 minutes, which is obviously the worst start you can possibly have when you're fighting against relegation, they actually reacted really well. And to be fair to the Leeds fans, they stayed with their team. I know we heard a few boos, at half-time. This Leeds crowd have now got to get behind their team in the second half, because when you see a team that's putting in the effort, I think you should stay with them, and they are putting the effort. The best chance that Leeds had was a diving header from Robin Koch, where he should be hitting the target when he's unmarked from 8 yards out, and he misses the target completely. But I think it's probably summed up Leeds' season from the goal that they ended up conceding. You mentioned it. Look, 7 corners, all of those throws. It doesn't feel like there's much coming from open play particularly. I look at the actual quality they have in possession. Sloppy, giving the ball away. They look panicky constantly. And so when those opportunities are presenting themselves, they've got to do better with them. Well, you know what? The thing that highlighted that, Will, was, to be fair, they had a corner on the right-hand side. Jack Harrison just tried to roll it
6 yards into Rodrigo, and he missed him completely. And then within 3 seconds, Spurs are counter-attacking on this left-hand side with Son, and they end up getting themselves a corner. So Leeds are trying to put the pressure on Spurs' back five, but because they're so sloppy in possession, then that pressure abates, and then Spurs can get themselves into a decent team shape.
Dan's mentioned that this pitch looks sticky. I nearly got myself on clips of the week there. It does look slow. It almost looks like this is a planned thing for, Spurs are going to counter-attack, they're going to press them, and they have, at least for the better part of things after that goal in the second minute, kept Tottenham at bay. The one or two threats they've had on the counter-attack, they've covered well. Christensen particularly, where he lost Kulusevski in midfield, but got back and covered. Spurs haven't offered a huge amount since then, but I guess they've just not been too worried at the other end, Perry.
Well, that's it. I can't remember Fraser Forster having a save to make. In Angley, he's tipped one over from Verba, which was like a looping header. That's all he's had to do. And you know what Spurs are going to do? They're going to sit deep. They're going to hit you on the counter-attack. And exactly what they did for Harry Kane's goal, which was really good play from Pedro Porro on the right-hand side strike. He's got to make sure that Porro doesn't get away from him. And Porro gets away from him. He rolls it into Son. And then Son, to be fair, is a brilliantly weighted pass to his left-hand side to Harry Kane. And all it does, it invites Harry Kane to hit it first time, which he does. And he smashes it past Robles, high to his right-hand side, giving himself absolutely no chance whatsoever. So I think it's the sixth last game of the season that Harry Kane has scored on the trot. 10 goals in all. Who knows if that might be his last goal in a Spurs shirt.
Well, look, from a Spurs perspective, we'll keep a firm eye on exactly how he reacts at the full-time whistle. Does he go over to the Spurs fans and make a big song and dance? And of course, they are still in with a chance of Europe. A late goal in the first half for Brighton, meaning it's now Aston Villa 2, Brighton 1. If they better Villa's result, they will finish above them in 7th in the table. That's Arsenal title winner Perry Groves, alongside myself, Will Gavin and Ian Danter for you here at Elland Road. As it stands, Leeds United's 3-year stay in the Premier League is coming to an end. What can they do to turn around their fortunes? The second half coming up for you live here on TalkSport 2.
This is TalkSport 2. Sit up and listen. Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Car Finance 24/7. They'll take care of the money stuff so you can focus on finding your dream car. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Representative APR 19.9%. Car Finance 24/7 is a credit broker, not a lender.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of building products. In May, we've got Stone Market Natural Stone Paving Project Packs at £18.99 per square metre ex VAT. And with free delivery, that's a real deal. Find more real deals online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%. Free delivery within local delivery areas.
Friend, for all of yourselves, we have all of your faves on Just Eat. From your wading through work self to your late night munchy self. Help those selves to a smooth Costa Coffee Latte. A perfect Domino's Pepperoni Passion. A freshly made Five Guys All-American Cheeseburger. A classic Pizza Express American Hot. And a delish McDonald's Big Mac. So take yourself from a 6 to a 9.9. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Subject to availability and store opening times. Service charges and other charges apply. See justeat.co.uk for more details.
For all the top Premier League analysis, listen to The Game, the Premier Football podcast from The Times. Every Monday and Thursday, join Hugh Woozencroft and a host of big-name guests for in-depth reaction and opinion on the latest action and the biggest issues in the world of football.
It's a massive goal!
Hear previews of all the upcoming matches and provocative and compelling opinions from some of the finest football writers from The Times and The Sunday Times.
Lovely bit of football!
Listen to The Game on the free Times Radio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
And he's barrelled it straight through the midfield into the Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone, the home of big screen live football. A long volley over the stadium seats by the giant screens into the left-hand corner of the bar, past a winning lineup of ice-cold beers and a magnificent menu of mouth-watering footy food. Result! Enjoy the perfect big match experience with food, drink and live football at a Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone at 33 UK locations. Find your nearest venue and win monthly prizes, including match tickets at villagehotels.com/fanzone. Get in! Conditions apply. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked on to Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no warutaka wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with a Now Sports membership. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Game day. Pushing the apex of live football.
Right foot shot, brilliant goal!
The biggest and best football on the radio.
Game day exclusive.
On TalkSport 2.
You're back with us at Elland Road, where currently Tottenham lead Leeds by a 1-0. Leeds United heading back to the Championship after a 3-year stay in the Premier League, because elsewhere Leicester City are beating West Ham by a 0-0, and it's still goalless at Everton. With all of that in mind, let's get the very latest odds with 888 Sports.
Football form focus on TalkSport 2 with 888 Sport. Made to challenge, made to debate, made to play. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Tottenham heavy favourites now to hold on to this lead. Elland Road 8-17 odds on. Leeds 6-1 now for a comeback. The draw 14-5. Everton are still odds on favourites to beat Bournemouth at Goodison Park. 8-11 as it currently stands. Bournemouth 11-2. The draw 15-8. So they could break Leicester City hearts, who themselves are heavy favourites. 3-10 odds on to finish the job against West Ham. The draw is 7-2. The Hammers on the road ahead of that Europa Conference League final right now at 10-1. Those were the latest odds with 888 Sport. Made to challenge, made to debate, made to play. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Football form focus on TalkSport 2 with 888 Sport. Made to challenge, made to debate, made to play. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
So just a reminder again, Everton still goalless with Bournemouth. Right now, Leicester City through Harvey Barnes' 34th minute opener lead at West Ham United, and here Harry Kane's goal inside 2 minutes has Tottenham still potentially hoping for a Europa Conference League spot, and Leeds heading back to the Championship. The second half coming up for you live here on TalkSport 2.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with a Now Sports membership. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of building products. In May, we've got 110mm single socket 3-metre underground pipe for only £12.99 ex VAT. And with free delivery, that's a real deal. Find more real deals online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%. Free delivery within local delivery areas.
For all the top Premier League analysis, listen to The Game, the Premier Football podcast from The Times. Every Monday and Thursday, join Hugh Woozencroft and a host of big-name guests for in-depth reaction and opinion on the latest action and the biggest issues in the world of football.
It's a massive goal!
Hear previews of all the upcoming matches and provocative and compelling opinions from some of the finest football writers from The Times and The Sunday Times.
Lovely bit of football!
Listen to The Game on the free Times Radio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Friend, bag yourself some Sainsbury's, One Stop, Asda, Co-op, Iceland on Just Eat. For your hostess with the mostest self, barbecue chef self. I can't believe I forgot that self. Help yourselves to some alfresco brunchy bits, summer salad stuffs, snackety snacks. Get your groceries delivered pronto, quick, sharp now. Delivered for free. Groceries, we got it.
Did somebody say just eat?
Participating stores only. Subject to availability and store opening times. Minimum spend applies. Service charges and other charges apply. See justeat.co.uk for more details.
And he's barreled it straight through the midfield into the Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone, the home of big screen live football. A long volley over the stadium seats by the giant screens into the left-hand corner of the bar, past a winning lineup of ice-cold beers and a magnificent menu of mouth-watering footy food. Result: enjoy the perfect big match experience with food, drink and live football at a Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone at 33 UK locations. Find your nearest venue and win monthly prizes, including match tickets at villagehotels.com/fanzone. Get in! Conditions apply. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked on to Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, ノーアルタカは爪を隠す. The smart hawk hides its talents. For taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Car Finance 24/7. Sort your finance first so you can choose a car with confidence. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Representative APR 19.9%. Car Finance 24/7 is a credit broker, not a lender.
The games, the goals, and the glory.
Oh, and he's grabbed the net!
Game day.
Live football coverage that's beyond compare.
Game day exclusive
on TalkSport 2.
Well, it's the final day of the Premier League season, and it could be a final day in the Premier League for Leeds United. Right now, they're headed back to the Championship after their 3-year stay. 1-0 down at home to Tottenham Hotspur. What are the implications for this grand old football club? What could it mean for their takeover? What does it mean for the playing squad? Due to the fact that earlier on we brought you the brilliant coverage of the League One playoff final here on TalkSport 2. Stockport County took on Carlisle United and then ended up winning things 5-4 on penalties. We haven't had a chance to dissect or look much at that or what the future holds for Spurs, but don't worry, immediately after full time here, myself, Will Gavin and Perry Groves will look at all the implications of what the next 45 minutes hold for these clubs, and particularly those at Goodison Park and at the King Power today. 2 from 3 must go down. Right now it's Everton and Leeds United. Spurs could still see themselves seal a place in Europe, of course, as well, if things change at Villa Park. Right now they'll be finishing the season 8th. How disappointing for them and their hopes coming into the year. Don't forget that you'll be able to react to all of the action here on TalkSport 2 and over on TalkSport as we bring you game day phone-in immediately following the action today at 7 p.m. on TalkSport. Jamie O'Hara and Gabriella Bonglahor taking your calls. The first place to have your say on national radio about the final day of the Premier League season. And then tonight, Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant with a special edition of the Sports Bar Weekender from 10 p.m. We'll just go run you through those Premier League half-time scores elsewhere. Arsenal 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Granit Xhaka on likely his last appearance for Arsenal, scoring a brace. Saka with the third, 3-0 up they are there. Villa 2, Brighton 1. Dennis Undav pulling one back for the South Coast club. Brentford 0, Manchester City 0 as it currently stands. Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. Forest lead at Crystal Palace by a goal to 0. And the key games at the bottom: Everton 0, Bournemouth 0. Right now the Toffees being relegated for the first time in over 70 years. Leeds 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1 here at Ellen Road. Leicester City 1, West Ham United 0. Right now Harvey Barnes' opener is seeing them staying in the Premier League. And that's what it's Manchester United 1, Fulham 1 and Southampton 2, Liverpool 2. There's barely an empty seat in the stands, maybe in the top tier of the Jack Charlton stand on the far side from us, but a lot of fans back early from the half-time. You have to say that the home crowd here at Ellen Road never got quiet. The Leeds players all out onto the pitch already. Perry Groves, I imagine they had a bit of a word in their ear from Sam Allardyce at half-time.
Yeah, I think it will be the lack of concentration right at the beginning of the kick-off, because Sam's played basically 6 defenders, and I think his tactic was to get into half-time and still be level. So they're not under too much pressure, and they go and give a goal away after 2 minutes when you've got, say, 6 defensive-minded players on the pitch. So he'll be devastated for that lack of concentration. He'll be quite pleased with the reaction, because they got themselves on the front foot, and you could see we were in the technical era that Sam Allardyce and his coaching staff, Carl Robinson, were telling the Leeds players just to calm down a bit when they were in possession because they were too erratic.
Well, the Spurs players are back out onto the pitch. Sam Allardyce is back in his technical area in front of us, and we're ready to get back underway. Will it be a final 45 minutes in the Premier League for Leeds United here at Ellen Road? Your matchday commentator is Ian Danter.
Thank you very much, Will. No changes for either side as Tottenham get us back underway. And Perry Groves and myself were talking about that at half-time, and it is very strange, Perry, that Sam Allardyce has not elected to make any changes at the turnaround, with Leeds now attacking the Revie end.
Yeah, obviously they're needing goals, not just a goal. And you've got Crescencio Somerville on the bench, Wilfred Gnonto on the bench as well. Two players who have got some sort of art in them and the way that they play, and they've got creativity, and they're still sat on their backsides on the bench at the moment.
So Leeds line up with Robles in goal, Ayling, Christensen, Cooper, Verber and Strike at the back. McKennie, Koch and Forshaw in midfield. Harrison and Rodrigo in attacking positions for Tottenham. Forster the keeper, Royale, Sanchez, Longley, Davis at the back. Porro, Bissouma, Skip and Son in midfield. Kulusevski and Kane, the goal scorer, up top. And Spurs have a free kick early in the half. They're attacking the Norman Hunters stand away to our right as we sit halfway up the John Charles main stand here at Ellen Road, as Kane flicks the ball away skillfully from Liam Cooper and powers in through midfield, tries to feed it down the right hand side of the box for Porro, and Pedro Porro makes it 2 for Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs do to Leeds at the start of the second half what they did at the start of the first, and surely that means that Leeds are championship bound after 3 years. Pedro Porro fires it home for his third Premier League goal, and it is Leeds 0, Tottenham 2.
Dan, some of the Leeds fans haven't even got in their seats to start this second half. They come back, they find the side 2-0 down. Brilliant play from Harry Kane on the halfway line. As the ball comes to him, he flicks it over Liam Cooper and over Anthony Taylor, referee, and then just finds Pedro Porro out on this right hand side, tries to release him inside Pascal Struijk. It's just a really, really bad touch from Pascal Struijk. He should be clearing it with his left foot. He lets it go over the top of his left foot, comes out to Pedro Porro, and he does what all good players should do when he's on that right hand corner of the 18-yard box. He just strikes it across Joel Robles, gives him absolutely no chance. That's it for Leeds, Dan. It's done and dusted. They are relegated. You can hear the boos that are ringing out around Ellen Road.
Pedro Porro on loan from Sporting, played against Spurs in the Champions League, was at Manchester City. Johnny on the spot when Pascal Struijk couldn't collect the ball that was intended for Porro by Harry Kane, but the ball just clipped off his outside of his shin, and Porro seized on it in a flash, and it's 2-0 to Tottenham, and that sinking feeling is setting in at Ellen Road.
Everything that Sam Allardyce would have said to these Leeds United players at half-time, Dan, is just completely out the window. From Pascal Struijk's point of view, that is a complete lack of concentration, because Harry Kane does brilliantly, so he gets away from Liam Cooper, he tries to play it inside Pascal Struijk to Pedro Porro, he plays it actually at him, Dan, doesn't he, onto his left foot, and he just completely miscontrols it. Pedro Porro takes a touch, smashes it across Joel Robles.
So surely now Sam and Carl Robinson and Robbie Keane will be discussing how to make changes in personnel to turn this around, because now Leeds need 3 goals and then help elsewhere. And here come Tottenham 2-0 up. Son is dispossessed by Christensen, who tells Son to get up, saying he fell theatrically to try and win a free kick. Ayling over on the far side, Leeds all in white attacking the Revie end to our left. Spurs in that change strip of blue and black and lime green. Ball's out on this near side with Pascal Struijk, who Pedro Porro has contributed to goals at the expense of Struijk twice this afternoon.
Does Lightning strike twice?
Very good. I'll set him up, you knock him down.
Thanks, I've missed them in my career. That was from a yard.
Goal kick to Tottenham and Fraser Forster. And the more this game slips away from Leeds United, I guess our attention may well turn to what happens next with Tottenham Hotspur in a summer of major upheaval personnel-wise. I mean, you can talk about Harry Kane till the cows come home, but he's not the only player that might be moving on. Come back to that in a moment, because Leeds are in possession with Luke Ayling down the right-hand side. McKennie gives the ball back to Luke Ayling, level with the edge of the area, rolled back in field for Adam Forshaw. Now Koch takes over, floats it out to the right-hand side. Ayling plays it down the right-hand side of the box for Forshaw. Great challenge. Ben Davies came across and a no-nonsense interception. It's out of play for a flow, but taken quickly. Harrison at the right-hand corner of the box just comes away from the area now, tries to clip it into the box, headed clear by Skip, and Son looks for Kulusevski, who picks it up just shy of the halfway line and then runs back into his own half to keep possession. Now Emerson Royale can move into the Leeds half of the field. Plays a 1-2 with Harry Kane, and he knows he's going to hold up in that long grass right-hand side, and attempt there from Emerson Royale to win a corner that came to nothing, and Leeds have it with Forshaw inside their own half. It's Leeds 0, Tottenham 2, 5 gone in the second half on TalkSport 2. Ball's tucked in field for Adam Forshaw, 10 yards inside the Tottenham half of the field. Christensen takes over, tries to swirl across him from the right. It's over here, it actually goes out on the full for a goal kick, and now the atmosphere is turning. Now the boos are starting to come from the Revie end towards the Leeds players. 2-0 Tottenham.
Dance, that is so poor from Rasmus Christensen, because he's got nobody around him. The right hand side of Leeds attacking play, as he gets the ball down on his right foot, all he's got to do is just help it into the 18-yard box, and he hits it, no exaggeration, 30 yards too far. That is just such basic play for a Premier League footballer.
And now he's in trouble with Harry Kane trying to burst down the left-hand side, but steps a foot in. Christensen goes out of play for a throw-in. 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur here on TalkSport 2, condemning Leeds to life back in the Sky Bet Championship. They were relegated once before, 2003-04. Leeds heading for a second Premier League relegation. And Sam Allardyce, who's also felt that sinking feeling when he came in as a firefighter at West Bromwich Albion, Perry Groves.
Yeah, well, he'll say obviously this time he's been given 4 games, Dance, isn't he? One away at Man City, the next one at home against Newcastle United, then away at West Ham. And I think if you look back Leeds' season, we said about the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we said about the game here against Crystal Palace, but on Sam Allardyce's short tenure, that game against Newcastle where they're 1-0 up, they get a penalty, Patrick Bamford misses it, Newcastle goes straight up the other end, get a penalty, Callum Wilson scores, and end up drawing 2-2.
On such things, seasons can be decided, and it's certainly very easy to point to that penalty miss from Patrick Bamford. I think Rodrigo had the ball in his hand. I think it was there was all that stuff about designated penalty takers, which Sam Allardyce tried to brush off at the time. Leeds have possession left-hand corner of the Spurs box with Jack Harrison. Tries to send across it, deflects off Royale. Good header clear from Longley, comes out to Strike, who tried to strike it from the left-hand corner of the box with a low drive, but blocked. Comes out to Max Verber on this near side of the left. Decent ball into the box. At the far post is Ayling. Takes a touch and it's blocked behind by Longley for a Leeds corner at the Revie end. Great first touch from Luke Ayling, but super defending from the Frenchman to stop the shot going on target.
Yeah, great ball in from Max Verber from that left-hand side. Luke Ayling just trying to hit it first time on the half volley. In the end, it goes underneath his studs.
Forshaw with a corner. Up go the heads. Cooper can't win the header. Might drop at the edge of the area for Son Heung-min, who drops his shoulder, turns, tries to get away from Christensen, tries to take it round him, but Leeds win it back. Ayling out to Forshaw. Midway point of the half, tries to drill it into the Spurs box. It deflects into the path of Ayling. Thought he'd have a go for goal. It's skied up in the air off Pedro Porro and bounces once and through for Fraser Forster. Really not going Leeds' way. We played 9 minutes of the second half on TalkSport 2. Leeds 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Here's Perry Groves.
Well, from Tottenham Hotspur's point of view, the game couldn't have gone any better, because they like to hit you on the counter-attack. Scoring early in this second half, they know that the game is theirs if they can just keep control of it. They'll go back into their 5-4-1 formation, and they can actually enjoy themselves the rest of the second half.
Now Oliver Skipp making a great run through the centre circle. Two to his right for Tottenham as they attack the Norman Hunter end. Porro lays it off to Kulusevski, and back it goes to Royale. Of course, Spurs are winning, but it's all academic because Villa are winning as well, so European football is not possible as things stand for Tottenham. But they're doing what they can to at least put pressure on Unai Emery's men. They lead Brighton by 2-1 at Villa Park. Leeds fans giving the substitutes who are just coming to strip off. Wilfried Gnonto amongst them, Brendan Aronson, and I think Jorginho Rutter coming on as well. Going to be a triple change for Leeds United coming up shortly.
Yeah, well, Sam Allardyce, if he's in Vegas, he's got to go all in, Dance. He's got to go all or nothing. I think we were surprised that really there was only 2 attacking players in the starting 11 for Leeds, obviously Jack Harrison and Rodrigo. And anything that could have gone wrong from Sam Allardyce's point of view in his game plan has gone wrong.
Well, he's just seen another defender yellow carded, an earlier foul in that build-up as Spurs won a corner from Liam Cooper, has seen him booked. Remember, Leicester still lead West Ham by 1-0 live on TalkSport right now. Harvey Barnes with a crucial goal that, as it stands, keeps Leicester in the Premier League because Everton are still goalless against Bournemouth. Any further goals, I'll let you know. 1-0 Everton, I'm just being told. Everton have just taken the lead. So it all changes and it pivots back Everton's way and sends Leicester down with Leeds. Meantime, a Spurs corner into the near post, looking for the head at the edge of the area of Yves Bissouma, can't bring it down. Put back to the right-hand corner of the box, and Harry Kane chops in on his left foot, tries the shot, it's blocked by the chest of a Leeds defender. McKennie heads the ball up in the air, but there's an offside flag up against the Spurs player, so Leeds get a free kick and Leeds trail by 2-0.
There's going to be a triple substitution from Sam Allardyce. See Carl Robinson giving the three substitutes their instructions. Basically is get the ball, get it forward, get yourself into the 18-yard box.
So the 3 players getting their final instructions from Robbie Keane and Carl Robinson. You're listening to Leeds 0, Tottenham 2 on TalkSport 2 with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action, like Leicester versus West Ham and Everton versus Bournemouth, right now for £11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports for all the details. It's Abdoulaye Doucouré that's got that goal for Everton at Goodison Park. Meantime, Leeds coming forward with Rodrigo, looking for McKennie inside the box, but it's well dealt with by Oliver Skipp, who calmly nods it back to his keeper Forster.
He really wear there, Oliver Skipp, because when you're playing that holding midfield role, you've got to make sure that sometimes just plug holes, exactly what he did at the near post there. Rodrigo just trying to fire it into McKennie. As McKennie took his touch, ball bounced up in the air, Oliver Skipp just nodded it back to Fraser Forster.
So Leicester now back in the bottom 3. The fact that they're leading against West Ham is inconsequential because of Everton's lead. Leeds coming forward again, trying to do something about it themselves. In steps Max Verber driving forward, but it's stumped out of play by Pedro Porro for a throw to Leeds on this near side. Taken by Verber, Strike moves it infield to Forshaw, drills it out to the right hand corner of the box, and Ayling lofts the ball to the far post beyond Harrison. Hit goal was quite weakly by Verber. Spurs clear. Harry Kane just can't get away from Liam Cooper against a vital footing, but it is a throw to Spurs, and here comes the triple change for Leeds United as we approach the hour mark. And Strike, who's had a luckless afternoon, is one of those withdrawn to allow Aronson to come on. Verber makes way for Firpo. That's not a popular choice. And McKennie makes way for Jorginho Rutter. So Rutter, who has not scored a Premier League goal, big money move. You were talking about him with Adrian Durham over on TalkSport and the build-up, Kerry Groves.
Yep, he hasn't actually worked out how Rutter would have liked. They say £30 million plus signing, hasn't got a goal. So now can he adhere himself to this Leeds United fans by nicking a goal and see if he can get his team back into the game?
I think if he can nick 3, he'll go into their good books.
We'll settle for 1 first. Little acorns dance.
Ian Danter and Perry Gross with you on TalkSport 2 at Ellen Road, where an hour has gone. Tottenham Hotspur lead by 2-0, and it is going to be championship football for Leeds United, and there will be all sorts of recriminations about, was it right to dismiss Marcelo Bielsa? Was it right to appoint Jesse Marsch? Was Big Sam the right man to parachute in at the last minute? These questions will come for Leeds United, but they are coming forward with Jack Harrison. Lost the ball into the box, a chance to be pulled back across the face of goal. It just would not drop. Goes out of play for a corner kick. It's picked up by Forshaw. Forshaw, left-footed ball into the near post. It's cleared away, only as far as Forshaw once again. Deep ball to the far post. Headed out this time as Leicester go 2-0 up at the King Power. It's irrelevant in a way because Everton are leading, but Leicester have a second goal live on TalkSport. Leicester 2, West Ham 0. Leeds coming forward again with Harrison, trying to weave all the way through at the edge of the D, runs into traffic, loads of Spurs shirts in the way, and it's cleared away by Clement Longley. Spins on the ball neatly, goes down, loses the ball eventually, but I've been impressed with Clement Longley this afternoon at the back for Tottenham Hotspur. It's Wout Faes that's got that second goal for Leicester City. In comes the cross for Leeds, headed up in the air by Rodrigo, but it drops over the crossbar for a Spurs goal kick. We played 61 minutes on TalkSport 2. You're listening to Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2, with Car Finance 24/7. Say hello to hassle-free Car Finance. Search Car Finance 24/7 today, and there's a Spurs player down injured inside his own penalty box. Southampton have gone 4-2 up on Liverpool on the final day. They were 2-0 down, remember, but Suleiman has got a second and Adam Armstrong's weighed in with a fourth, and so the final games in the Liverpool shirt for the likes of Bobby Firmino and James Milner not going the way that they would want, and Southampton going down with a flourish. Not so Leeds United here. They're 2-0 down at home to Tottenham Hotspur, live on TalkSport 2. Pape Sarr about to be introduced by Ryan Mason, and still treatment being administered to, I think it was Pedro Porro that was down injured, wasn't it, Perry Grimes?
Yeah, I think he just got trodden on by Robin Koch, and I think it's just being very, very clever. Pedro Porro there, just limping hesitantly off the pitch. He knows that Leeds is trying to put a little bit of pressure on, just trying to quell the momentum, quell the crowd.
So in the end, it's a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur at the Revienne to our left-hand side. And marching on together starts to ring around Ellen Road, a show of defiance in the face of relegation from the Leeds United faithful. They spent such a long time out of the Premier League, having been relegated in 2004. They didn't want it to end this quickly. Cross into the Spurs box is dealt with well by Emerson Royale, keeping it away from Firpo. Seems that McKennie was the target of a lot of the criticism when he came off as one of those 3 changes for Leeds United. One of the players brought in by Jesse Marsch, of course. Now Ayling down the right hand side of the box finds Christensen, who wins a corner for Leeds United at the Revienne. They're still pushing, trying to get themselves back into this game at the very least. 2-0 down.
Yeah, it's good defending from Ben Davis. So there Christensen just going on the overlap down that right hand side. Ben Davis making sure he slides in, gets the block. Corner for Leeds over on their right.
Harrison to take it where the Revienne meets the Jack Charlton stand. Left-footed in-swinger, deep to the far post, headed across the face of goal and away by Yves Bissouma. Son lets the ball drop and it's taken away by Emerson Royale, who looks instantly for Harry Kane or Kulusevski, but couldn't find either of them. just cleared it straight to Joel Robles, the Leeds goalkeeper.
That was a proper shinner, wasn't it?
Very awkward.
Emerson Royale. He's got his socks rolled down, shin pad showing. Just tried to ease it out onto this right hand side to Kulishevsky. Just come off his left shin pad. Gave possession away back to Leeds.
Even if they wear shin pads these days, they're like 10 pence pieces, the shin pads they wear now. What part of the shin is that protecting? Here's Jack Harrison darting down the right wing, clips the ball up to the far post, looking for a header down from Aronson. Can't find Firpo, his teammate. Spurs again wrestle the ball clear from their own penalty area. Neat pass from Davison Sanchez finds Porro. Oh, it's a lovely ball in field, but actually it skips away from Harry Kane, and Harrison does well to win it back. Now he's running towards the Spurs penalty area again. Harrison draws the challenge from Bissouma, gets around him, but his ball clips into the box, goes behind everyone in a white shirt, and Forster can collect. 2-0 Tottenham.
The reason being is I think it was Rodrigo in the centre of the penalty area. He makes a run to the near post. Rutter makes exactly the same run, and there's nobody at the far post, as Jack Harrison just tried to help it on.
So 2-0 to Tottenham. Don't forget, coming up on TalkSport 2 next, we'll have PGA Tour Golf, the final round of the Charles Schwab Challenge from Fort Worth in Texas. Russ Hargreaves will bring you the swing by pitch by putt action on TalkSport 2. And of course the Open Championship isn't too far away. In July we'll have full coverage of that tournament on TalkSport 2, as well as the World Match Play Darts and the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Mark Wilson is alongside us today in the TalkSport role. He's going to be with me and Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson at the Winter Gardens mid-July to see whether Michael van Gerwen can hold on to his title. Now here's Jack Harrison picking the ball up at the edge of the area, trying to get one back for Leeds. He's got one back. Less than 25 minutes to go, and just the slightest chink of light for Leeds United, given to them by Jack Harrison. Picked the ball up at the edge of the area, shifted it onto his right foot and drilled it low past Fraser Forster into the bottom corner. Just a little bit of hope for Leeds United fans here at Ellen Road. Leeds 1, Tottenham 2.
Yeah, really good play from Leeds United in their build-up. The ball come out to Rutter, and he just feeds it on to Jack Harrison on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Harrison actually goes on his unfavoured right foot dance, gets a great shot across Fraser Forster into his low down his right-hand side, gives him absolutely no chance whatsoever. Leeds 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2.
And before kick-off, Pape Sarr came on to replace Dejan Kulusevski for Tottenham for their first change of the afternoon. So Leeds have a goal back in this game, and they've scored again. That's their 13th successive match in which they found the net. They would wish that they'd kept it out at the other end far more often. Now not kept a clean sheet in 15 matches. Forshaw looking up to the edge of the area for Robin Koch. Did enough to let the ball break out to the right-hand side, and Harrison steps in field from the far touchline, whips a lovely ball in, headed out strongly by Davison Sanchez. Great defensive header inside his own 6-yard box, Perry.
Yeah, brilliant ball in from Jack Harrison from the right-hand side, in swing with his left foot. Davison Sanchez standing right in the middle of the 6-yard box.
But here's a counter-attack for Tottenham. Pedro Porro feeds Harry Kane inside the box. Kane for number 3! That's it! Harry Kane scores twice on the final day of the season, maybe his final day in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt, to once again ruin the atmosphere for the Leeds United fans who've been given that hope with Jack Harrison's goal not 2 minutes before. Suddenly it's 3-on-2. Porro finds Kane, and it was always going to be Kane finds the back of the net. Leeds are going down for sure now. Quarter of the game to go. Leeds 1, Tottenham 3.
Harry Kane was never ever going to miss. It's a really poor header from Liam Cooper. Goes straight to Pape Sarr, and he finds Pedro Porro on this central position. Then he just rolls it into Harry Kane. Harry Kane is never ever going to miss from their dance. He just makes sure he composes himself, gets the ball out of his feet, first touch with his left foot, opens his body out with his right foot, his instep, gives Robles absolutely no chance whatsoever. Harry Kane, for his 30th Premier League goal of the season, puts Tottenham Hotspur 3-1 up.
1 minute and 46 seconds between Harrison's goal back for Leeds and Harry Kane's 30th goal of the season in the Premier League. Quite sensational once again in such a torrid season for Tottenham Hotspur that Harry Kane nets 30 goals.
In such, as you said there, for a poor season for Tottenham Hotspur, and let's be honest, Dan, although they're winning 3-1 today, their first away win for 8 Premier League games, but he's playing in a very, very average side. For him to get 30 goals, Premier League goals, is unbelievable.
Corner to Leeds, swung in by Harrison, headed away by Davinson Sanchez. Down the left-hand side, the attempted pass from Harrison goes out of play. I don't know whether he was looking for a teammate. There was no one there to pass to. He actually gave it to Wilfred Gnonto, one of the Leeds substitutes, who's got the high-vis bib on, doing some warm-up exercises.
Actually, it was a decent run from Gnonto, to be fair. He's got himself in behind Tottenham's back 5.
Got great space, yeah, no one was picking him up. More live football to come tomorrow. We're at Wembley on TalkSport for the League One playoff final. A South Yorkshire affair. Barnsley against Sheffield Wednesday. 3 o'clock kickoff. Adrian Durham will be your host. Jim Proudfoot, Chris Awellamo and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, your commentary team. We bring you Sevilla against Roma in the Europa League final on Wednesday. Scott Minto joining Jim Proudfoot for commentary of that one. And then next Saturday, the FA Cup final. 3 o'clock kickoff. How about that? An FA Cup final at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Quite takes
There's
you
a
back.
novel idea.
That warms the cockles, doesn't it?
It's the Manchester Derby. And Stuart Pearce and Mickey Gray will be alongside Jim Proudfoot and Adrian Durham for that one next weekend. The showpiece final at Wembley as Manchester City go looking for part 2 of the treble. Now here's Pape Sarr, whose industry led to that 3rd goal.
Dan, when you look at the two sides, that actually, I think, encapsulates Leeds' season. They've conceded 156 goals from the beginning of last season, the most in Europe's top 5 top leagues. But so, defensively, Davinson Sanchez.
Harrison wound up to go for goal from 35 yards out, but he was blocked by Harry Kane. Son just gets a nudge in the back from Forshaw.
Davinson Sanchez heads the ball out defensively, does a brilliant header from Tottenham's point of view, and all of a sudden it comes to Liam Cooper. He has a really, really bad header. There's nobody around him. He just heads it straight to Pape Sarr. Within 10 seconds, it's in the back of Leeds' net.
Well, for Spurs, it was no away win in 9 in all competitions. For Tottenham, their last away win came in late January at Fulham by a 0-0. They've been wretched on the road since then. 4-4. What a game at St Mary's to round the season off. It's Liverpool who were 2-0 up and then 4-2 down, and Gakpo and Jota have got it back to 4-4. Meanwhile, Everton still leading Bournemouth by that 0-0 from Abdoulaye Doucouré that keeps Everton in the Premier League at Leeds' expense, and Leicester. Leicester are 2-0 up against West Ham, but that is not enough for Leicester City. They're too many goals behind and too many points behind Everton. And Leeds are going down second bottom.
You can bet your life at the King Power dance. In the old days, it'd have been transistor radios. Now it'll be all the Leicester City fans looking at their phones, hoping that Bournemouth can nick an equaliser.
But it's 1-0 to Everton. Live on TalkSport right now. It could be a very flat atmosphere at Leicester, despite the scoreline 2-0 in Leicester's favour. It's not enough. Now, over on the far side, I think Pape Sarr's gone down over the far touchline. No, it's not Pape Sarr. I think it's Bissouma, in actual fact, who's gone down injured on that far side. Indeed it is. Leeds 1, Tottenham 3. TalkSport 2 in the Premier League on the final day. It is not the day that Leeds fans would have wanted at all, although I don't really know what sort of day Leeds fans were expecting as they arrived at the ground today.
I think there was an air of resignation, wasn't it, down to who was coming outside the ground, but to be fair, when they got into the ground, there was a positive atmosphere. You know, they tried to rouse their team, but then the win were taken out of themselves because Leeds go 1-0 down after 2 minutes from Harry Kane's goal.
We've got just over a quarter of an hour to go, and Spurs win the ball back and find Harry Kane, who's on a hat-trick. Of course he is. in his final game of the season. Lovely ball over the top, finds Sung Kyung-min in behind, tries to drive it, goal was blocked by Christensen. Still inside the area with his back to goal, the Korean looking for a teammate, finds Pedro Porro. Now Royale on this near side, the Tottenham right. Skip tucks the ball in field to Kane. Kane finds Royale in a bit of space, he gives it back to the England captain. Porro works the ball back to halfway. We'll be seeing Richarlison shortly. Harry Kane down the right hand side, tries to whip across and it's deflected out off Rasmus Christensen for a throw into Tottenham on this near side, with the score at 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Richarlison on and Son Heung-min off. The Spurs' second change. Richarlison, who's only scored one Premier League goal all season. We thought the floodgates would open when he scored those 2 goals in the Champions League, Perry. Very on against Marseille, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But not to be.
Well, it hasn't really clicked for him this season. You could say it hasn't really clicked for a lot of Tottenham Hotspur players this season, Dan, to be fair.
And Matthew Craig is coming on as well, a 20-year-old central midfielder who's the twin of Michael Craig. There's an idiot on the pitch with a Leeds scarf being chased by security. He will eventually be tackled and led off the field, and good riddance to him. Matthew Craig is 20, a former middle distance champion in his youth, and he's coming on for Yves Bissouma for what is a Premier League debut, wearing number 51 for Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe we should try and remember that name, Matthew Craig. Coming on.
Yeah, big moment for the young man. He said they'll just go into that midfield area. Oliver Skip just had a little word in his shell like on Taffy Sarr, just probably saying to him, look young man, just get the ball, first pass, make sure you keep possession, don't try and overplay, keep it nice and simple. What a time to come on for a young player to come make your debut when your team's 3-1 up away from home.
Eventually it'll be a throw to Tottenham Hotspur on this near side. The interloper on the pitch is being held down behind the goal line to our right hand side at the Norman Hunter stand end of the ground. We've been told that there's the very large likelihood of a pitch invasion at the end of this game. It remains to be seen exactly what happens, and stewards have a thankless job at the best of times to try and prevent such things happening when they are so severely outnumbered. We'll see what happens at the end of the game.
If you're a Leeds United fan, Dan, what do you want to run onto the pitch for?
Because everybody else does it, so why shouldn't we? That's the argument.
Well, also, I think they've got to bring some sanctions in, because I've never been a fan of fans going onto the pitch, because you only need one idiot to create a catastrophe.
Richarlison can't win a header over on the far side of the field, so 12 minutes to go. Leeds 1, Tottenham 3. Elsewhere, Leicester 2-0 up on West Ham still. Everton 1 goal up on Bournemouth. It's 2-1 now. West Ham have got a goal back over on TalkSport, but that's still playing into Everton's hands, of course. So 2-1 over on TalkSport at the King Power. Here at the Ellen Road Stadium, Spurs had a counter-attack on, but Richarlison hasn't got to the pace of the pitch, to use the cricketing parlance, and his pass for Kane held up in the long grass. Leeds trying to counter, but Koch can't find Jack Harrison, and it's thumped out of play for a Leeds throw in their right back position. 3-1 to Tottenham.
Yeah, it's just Richarlison. Looks like he's the one who's going to go on that left hand side alongside Harry Kane.
It's currently, as the ball goes into the box, chance maybe for Rutter to get a strike and a goal. He's put it over the bar. Goal kick. It's currently Leeds 1, Tottenham 3 for the latest odds. Head to 888sport, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage. But right now, if you think Leeds can come back and win it, 66-1 you'll get on that. 14-1 the draw. Tottenham to win, unsurprisingly 33-1 on. That's all thanks to 888sport. Made to challenge, made to debate, made to play. It's 18 plus, and the website you need is begambleaware.org. And Fraser Forster telling his centre-halves to get out of the penalty area before he clears it downfield. Goes on to the halfway line, and Richarlison feeds Harry Kane. Kane gives it back to Richarlison, powering inside the area, left-hand side, angles tight, got the shot away, but Robles got something on it and holds onto the ball at the second attempt and clatters it downfield very early, but straight to Davison Sanchez.
Brilliant reverse pass from Harry Kane in that left-hand channel, releasing Richarlison. To be fair to Robles, he's got the angles all right at the near post stance, made himself nice and big, like a long barrier where the ball gets stuck in between his legs. This got to be very careful now from Leeds United point of view, because Spurs look very dangerous on the counter-attack. I said before, Richarlison's going up and playing alongside Harry Kane.
Harry Kane thought he'd taken the ball away from Liam Cooper, and Kane complains to Anthony Taylor that should have been a free kick, and Anthony Taylor wants nothing to do with it. And away come Leeds in possession. It's Pablo Fornals that got that goal back for West Ham, incidentally, at Leicester. But Leicester are still going down with Leeds, because Everton are still holding on to that 1-0 scoreline against Bournemouth at Goodison Park. Abdoulaye Doucouré with the important goal. Leeds have possession with Jorginho Rutter, right-hand corner of the box. Harrison clips it into the area with Rodrigo with his back to goal, trying to tee up Forshaw, can't find his man. Kane back defending deep, hits the ball against Firpo and gets it half clear. Ayling gets his head up, gives the ball to Forshaw in the centre of the half, along the deck to Rutter at the edge of the D, trying to make room for a shot, but there's plenty of Spurs shirts around to win it back, and Harry Kane brings it forward and looks immediately for Richarlison. Richarlison has Pape Sarr out on the left-hand side. Kane's now jogging towards the penalty area. Ball's rolled back to Craig, the young substitute, and he plays the ball back into square to Oliver Skipp. Skipp finds Royale and now Pedro Porro. So Oliver Skipp is the superior, more experienced midfielder in there for Spurs now.
Yeah, you can see that he's just got good communication with Matthew Craig. Oliver Skipp just playing a little bit deeper in the quarterback role.
Here's Kane, midway point of the half, flicks it out to Porro on the right wing, tries to play a 1-2 with Kane, went down very theatrically as he tried to roll Junior Firpo, stays down, and he's not getting anything like the referee here, I don't think, Pedro Porro. And it'll be just a throw to
just a little bit of encouragement there for Pedro Porro, just to get himself off the floor.
Yeah,
just a Leeds fan asking after his welfare.
In a nice way. Manchester United 2, Fulham 1. Bruno Fernandes got the second goal for Manchester United, incidentally. So the scores: Arsenal 5-0 up against Wolves. Granit Xhaka with 2, and Kivior's got the 5th for Arsenal. Villa still 2-1 up at Brighton. That's going to stop Tottenham having any lingering hopes of European football, with Villa still 2-1 up there. Brentford, Man City still goalless. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Palace 1, Forest 1. Will Hughes equalising for Palace. Everton crucially 1-0 up at Bournemouth. That keeps them in the Premier League. Leeds 1, Tottenham 3 here. Leicester 2-1 up against West Ham. That's live on TalkSport, but Leicester are going down. Manchester United 2-1 up on Fulham, and 8 goals shared at the moment between Southampton and Liverpool. Richarlison brings the ball down, gets a shot away inside the box, and Robles palmed it away and stopped Harry Kane getting into the rebound, because Christensen was quickly on the scene. We're into the last 6.5 minutes of normal time, and an aimless ball from Forshaw comfortably picked off by Porro, and now Pape Sarr tries to move into the centre circle, but Brendan Harrison comes back and wins it back for Tottenham Hotspur for Leeds United. Firpo clipping the ball down the left-hand side of the box, looking for Rutter, but the ball rolls away from him, and Fraser Forster pounces on the loose ball. So 6 minutes to go, Perry, and we wonder what the atmosphere will be like at full time.
Yeah, I think it maybe could turn a little bit nasty, dance a little bit toxic. So the Leeds players were actually booed off at half time, wasn't they, when they went in 1-0 down?
Finished 9th and 17th in their first 2 seasons back at Premier League level. And the Marcelo Bielsa this season has been a couple of places worse. As it stands, they're going to go down in 19th position. And Leicester are going down with them, even though they are beating West Ham by 2-1. It's Everton's 1-0 slender lead that they hold over Bournemouth that is keeping Sean Dyche's men in the Premier League for yet another season.
That's going to be a nervy last 5 to 7 minutes, isn't it, at Goodison Park?
Sure is. Tottenham dispelled any nerves that they might have had going into this game by scoring within 2 minutes at the start of the game and within 2 minutes at the start of the restart. Harrison got a goal back for Leeds, but then Kane got his second of the afternoon with just over 20 minutes to play, and that's where we're at now on TalkSport 2. 3-1 to Tottenham. Ball in from Firpo into the box, looking for Rodrigo, and Longley comes across and just chests it behind for another corner kick to Leeds.
Yeah, corner for Leeds on the left-hand side. It'll be swung in by Adam Forshaw. Again, Spurs go zonal marking along their 6-yard box.
Forshaw to strike it. Right-footed under the crossbar, headed out by Ben Davis and volleyed away up to the halfway line. Nobody up there in a Spurs shirt, so it's retrieved by Jack Harrison. Harrison with a diagonal ball into the box, and Forster shouts at his defender saying, "Leave it alone, that's mine," and can claim it.
Yeah, just too straight there from Jack Harrison. Just tried to feed it into the 18-yard box. He said there, Ben Davis just made sure that he shepherded the ball into Fraser Forster, who's brought the ball out of play, so that Jack Harrison gets some treatment. Looks like he's gone down with cramp.
Yeah, Harrison just getting back to his haunches. 4 goals this season for Jack Harrison before today. Score that, well, what's turning into a consolation. And there are Leeds fans now drifting away around us here in the John Charles Main stand at the Revie end. I know that Mark Wilson, our colleague up here, is going to be gauging reaction from Leeds fans outside the stadium. You'll be hearing that on the TalkSport network here with Will and with Perry after the full-time whistle, and over on TalkSport. But just a lull in proceedings as Harrison gets treatment from the Leeds United physios. Sam Allardyce has said he's not averse to the idea of staying at Leeds United. I wonder whether potential takeover would make that more difficult for him, depending on, because you know what you owners are like, potentially they've got their own ideas. Here comes Wilfred Gnonto, and Jack Harrison gets a very, very warm round of applause from the Leeds faithful. They know what he's contributed to Leeds United over the past 3 seasons in the Premier League, and he goes off to be replaced by the young Italian Wilfred Gnonto.
Dance, Jack Harrison is a player that the Leeds United fans know that will give you 100% every time he puts on that shirt. Same can't be said for some of the other Leeds United players, and you have to ask the question, obviously, with the relegation that's pending, will that be Jack Harrison's last game in the Leeds United shirt? Because a player of his quality, I don't think will want to be playing in the Championship.
Of course, he first came to Leeds as a loan player in the Championship when he was on Manchester City's books. Had a couple of seasons here, eventually signed permanently. But yet, one of a number of assets that you would say that Leeds United possess that will be hard to keep hold of. It's down to the player, of course, as much as anything else. Much as with Harry Kane, who's on the ball now, what he decides he wants to do at the end of this season. Whether he wants to stick it out at Tottenham with a new manager or try pastures new. He's won a free kick on the halfway line for Tottenham. We're 3-1 up, and going to be a couple more changes. Lucas Moura is going to come on, and George Abbott, who's 17 years of age, a defensive midfielder. Tottenham boy, Muswell Hill, born, been at the club since he was 8. He's going to get his chance in a few short moments' time to make his Premier League debut, as Richarlison juggles with the ball on this near touchline. Tries to get inside Forshaw, can't do so, thought he was fouled. Referee disagrees, it ends up being a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur on this near touchline. Last minute of normal time, 3-1 Spurs.
It's not like Richarlison to get involved in a little bit of pushing and shoving in skulldugger, is it? And you think, mate, your team's 3-1 up away from home. Just calm yourself down.
Always got that fiery intensity within him, Richarlison. throw-in doesn't find him, nor does it find Kane. Just drifts out of play from a header from the near post for another corner. So here comes the Spurs changes. So Lucas Moura and George Abbott are the two coming on. The players coming off. Oliver Skipp is coming off to allow young Abbott to come on. So that means now that I suppose Matthew Craig is the senior midfield partner, being slightly older than Abbott.
Yeah, Matthew Craig just walked over to George Abbott and said, look, son, make sure you get yourself on the ball, get the first pass in, don't give it away.
And Pedro Porro, who scored the goal at the start of the second half to further burst the atmosphere, he comes off, and Lucas Moura gets a rousing reception as we move into 5 minutes of added time here at Ellen Road. Brief cameo for Lucas Moura at the end of the game.
Yeah, Pedro Porro had a decent game, was involved in the build-up to the first goals. It was Son who got the assist, made Harry Kane's second goal and got Spurs third, so it's been a good afternoon's work for Pedro Porro.
Here's Junior Firpo. Introduce Rutter down the left-hand side of the area. Plays that ball in, it might drop for Aronson. Angles tight at the near post. Forster did really well to get the ball away from danger, and it's passed out of play by Longley on this near side for a Leeds throw. Bit of a scramble, but Spurs got it clear. They lead 3-1.
Yeah, Aronson couldn't quite get the ball out of his seat. Rutter puts it into Firpo. Nice little layoff. Aronson gets himself to the byline. He wants to get it out from under his feet so he can just dink it over Fraser Forster. Just get stuck underneath.
Ayling looks for Aronson down the inside left channel. Early cross into the box. Flicked on at the near post by Rutter, just nods it down to the penalty spot, but Pape Sarr could just lob it clear, and Richarlison's giving chase, and he's one-on-one with Ayling, but Ayling did really well. Again, the ball bounced and just stuck slightly in the surface, and that did Luke Ayling a favour.
You know, we said about the surface dance where it has been very, very slow, and maybe Sam Allardyce has, asked the groundsman maybe to grow the grass a little bit, and either overwater it or not water it so it's dry. Don't you think that's played into Spurs' hands? Because a counter-attacking team, they want the game to be nice and slow so there's no momentum.
I may well ask him that when I get to speak to Sam Allardyce in a little while in the tunnel. Here's Nonto coming forward down the Leeds right-hand side, passes infield to Aronson. He lays it off to Forshaw. We're in the 3rd minute of 5 that have been added on as we're playing out time before Leeds relegation to the Championship is confirmed. Here on TalkSport 2, Nonto plays the ball into the area. Robin Koch trying to bring it down, put it across the face of goal. He does, but straight into the arms of Forster. 3-1 Spurs, and there are 10 minutes of added time that have been issued at Goodison Park, where Everton are still hanging on grimly to that 1-0 scoreline against Bournemouth.
Dance, we can hear the groans from Goodison Park when that 10 minutes of in time went up.
And Jordan Pickford has picked up an injury. That's the reason why there was so much added time. So they're into 10 minutes of added at Goodison Park. But Everton, with that goal, are staying in the Premier League. Leicester, despite the fact that they're still beating West Ham, that's live on TalkSport, gone into added time. They're going to go down as well. The title winners from 7 years ago, relegated back to the Championship. And so the 3 sides that came up have stayed up, and that doesn't happen very often in the Premier League era. Brentford have taken the lead against Manchester City, incidentally. Ethan Pinnock, who's just signed a new contract at Brentford, has got what could be a winner on the final day at the GTEC against Manchester City.
They've beaten twice this season.
Time. That is full time. He's won the game for him.
So in Conkers, that make Brentford like the champions. They beat Man City twice, home and away.
Yes, that's right. In the last minute of added time almost here on TalkSport 2, it's playing out time here. Tottenham Hotspur keeping possession and frustrating Leeds United. Although they've won it back now, the hosts, and then Aronson dwells on it and allows Pape Sarr to win it back, and suddenly Lucas Moura skips infield from the right-hand side. Richarlison calling from the box, but Lucas Moura's going to go alone. He's going to go all the way and score a quite magnificent goal to round off Spurs afternoon. What a brilliant run from from Lucas Moura, and that really does condemn Leeds to the drop now. A superb solo effort from the substitute. They roared him on, the travelling Spurs fans. They're roaring him even louder now. A brilliant effort right at the end of the game. It is Leeds 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Take a bow, Lucas Moura.
Dance, the Tottenham fans want more of that, because as Lucas Moura picked the ball up, it was like the parting of the Red Sea from the Leeds United defence. That just about sums up Leeds defending all season. Skipped past Luke Ayling far too easy. Then Christensen goes past Liam Cooper, then past Luke Ayling, comes up to Christensen. Christensen just lets him ghost to his left hand side. Fantastic composure from Lucas Moura, because as he gets in, he just flicks it over John Robles, gives him absolutely no chance whatsoever. So in that one moment, he skipped past 3 Leeds United defenders who didn't lay a glove on him. Now you can understand why Leeds have conceded 157 goals since the beginning of last season, Dance. So if you're wondering why we'll talk about recruitment, talk about maybe the wrong managers, you can't concede that many amount of goals and think that you're going to stay in the Premier League.
Wonderful moment for Lucas Moura. He shares it with the coaching staff, and the full-time whistle goes, and Leeds United, after 3 seasons in the Premier League, are relegated back to the Championship. Tottenham win by 4 goals to 1. Ultimately, that may not be enough for Tottenham to sneak into a European spot. Harry Kane comes to the Spurs fans on this near touchline and applauds them on his own. No other players with him. What significance you might want to read into that, I don't know. He now moves away to rejoin his teammates, but Leeds players, heads down, on their haunches, on their backsides, abject. They have not done enough to preserve their Premier League status. Sam Allardyce couldn't work the oracle, and Leeds United are back in the Championship, relegated in 19th spot.
You can hear the Leeds United fans all singing out "You're not fit to wear the shirt." You can understand their frustrations.
Well, there's no pitch invasion, I should stress that straight away. That's the ring of stewards around the pitch haven't been required to repel anybody coming on the pitch. It's not as toxic as I had feared it would be. There have been a few boos. You heard the "You're not fit to wear the shirt" chants, but there is applause. If I look to the Revian, there's actually a banner that's been unfurled saying "Hail Bielsa." Well, it's a bit late to try and get him back. He's just taken the Uruguay national team job, so I think we can scratch that idea. But maybe, just maybe, they'll look back to the decision that the Leeds board took to dismiss Marcelo Bielsa as the beginning of the end for Leeds United's stay in the Premier League. They're back in the Championship after 3 seasons. Spurs will not be in Europe because Villa have beaten Brighton, so they will have a new manager come in with no European football to worry them. But for Leeds fans, it's applause, but ultimately dejection. Full-time score at Ellen Road: Leeds 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Leeds United are relegated.
"You're not fit to wear the shirt" ringing out around this Ellen Road stadium.